Hey yo, Tyler here. 30-day vlog challenge, day 8. Um, so I want to talk about the justice system, um, justice system based upon laws. Uh, it's kind of sad when you think about it, because I was in the court today, and it's like there's all these lawyers walking around their briefcases and the tediously slow clerks who take about as long as humanly possible to walk back and find your documents, despite there being like however many people in line. And the police officers all over the place. And here I am, and it's like I'm in the court building, the place where they have trials. And it's like nobody there is like being self-honest. They're they're not they're not they're not expressing themselves within like the the heart, principle of justice. They're 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 not honoring like the spirit of the Constitution or whatever. Um, the lawyers are just, you know, they're not connecting with their clients. They're just going through the motions, like manipulating them, like telling them what they need to tell them and getting their billable hours or whatever and moving on. And the policemen are there to, make sure people have to pay fines or whatever because they for because the cops show up at court and that sucks. And then the judges, like, what do they do? I mean, do they really like have any insight as to like what types of people they're dealing with, or are they just handing out sentences? I mean, I guess it's based loosely on some idea of the law, but when it comes down to it, like if a judge is the one deciding, or like a jury, like that's not any like way to determine like outcomes of life in society, like based on somebody having a shitty day or like whatever. And it's like this like huge building and like all these computers and elevators and paperwork and personnel, and the whole thing is just a complete waste of time. It's not contributing to society in any way, as far as I could tell. Like the there's there's just a bunch of people like trying to manipulate each other. It's like there was this weird like vibe in there. It was like all everybody was like cronies together, like just trying to like perpetuate the business of justice as It's like when you think about it, it's kind of scary because what these people's like livelihood relies upon their job as a lawyer or a judge or a clerk in this completely like inefficient, broken system. And when you expand that to like the entire economy, it's frightening how many jobs out there are. It's like, is that you're not to mention the millions of people who don't have a job, but it's like for those in like redundant or soon to be replaced by robots, or just jobs that in no way contribute to in a positive way to society. It's like our like there's millions of people in jobs like that. It's like, and nobody's talking about what's gonna happen when push comes to shove and like, hello, like, hello, hello, uh what's the justice system? Has it made has is the United States? I live in the United States, and is the United States a better place now than it was when the Constitution was written? No, it's not. And any argument that justice and the justice system is an integral part of um, society is bull. Like it, there's built-in racism, horrible racism, targeting of minorities in the justice system, with a hugely disproportionate amount of minorities represented in prisons. And prisons themselves are a private market. Like, people make money off of people being in prison, and cops make money off of putting people in prison, and governments make money off of fines and prison corporations. Like, this is the justice system, and it's ridiculous. And you hear a lot about how great the U.S. Constitution is in terms of it being a model for democracy and freedom. But I think it's a little bit lacking of humility. I don't know the word for that. It's a little bit presumptuous to say that the same document written on hemp 200 years ago is like totally kosher today. It's like totally relevant and okay, and it doesn't need to be updated to reflect the widespread violation of human rights all over the place. I mean, take a look. Like, it is true that we've built in democratic principles into our system of government, but that's exactly the point, that we can take these steps to evolve this the laws which give structure and strength to society. And if we would just come to terms with the fact that the point of living in society together is to coexist within the context of upholding human rights for one another. It's not something that we should be working towards. It's something that should be already fundamentally secured for everybody, and then we see where society goes. So, that means everybody has access to food, everybody has access to water, everybody has access to housing. Everybody has a guaranteed access to an income sufficient to cover their living needs. Everybody has access to education, to transportation. It's like that's what we can do to our democracy. We can change its nature. That's what democracy is. It's coming together to decide that we want to express ourselves in a way that's best for all. And so within that, something like the justice system is going to need to be reworked. That's for sure. Okay, thanks.